Alright, so we're just going to go through the exercise on page 146, Managing Product Shipments. Alright, so the first step says, a truck must have fuel and not require any maintenance before it can be released to ship products. Use the AND function in cell J3 to determine if the first truck can be cleared for shipping. The function should show the word true if cell H3 in the fuel column is yes, and cell I3 in the maintenance required column is no. Okay, so first I'm going to go to J3. And usually the easiest thing is to go to the insert function button. And I'm just going to search for the AND function. Click go. So I found it there. And I have two tests. And the first test it wants me to check is, is there fuel in the column? It has to equal to yes. So I'm going to click on fuel, type equals yes. Okay, and it's really important to put it in those quotations, otherwise it won't work. Now we'll do for the other test, maintenance required should equal no. So we'll do that equals no. Enter, and you see here it says true, and it says true, so my end result is true. And I click OK, and there I have it. Now the step number 2 says copy the AND function in cell J3 and paste it into J4 through J20. Now I'll show you one way to do it. You can right click and go copy, and then paste, and then paste, and then paste. Or the easiest way to do it, I find, is to just grab the little corner and drag it down, and it copies it throughout the entire column. Alright, so the next step. Use the OR function in cell K3 to determine if the first truck achieved the company capacity goal. Okay, so I'm going to go to K3. The capacity goal is achieved when either the current cube or the current weight is greater than or equal to 90% of capacity. The logical tests to evaluate the current weight and cubic capacity are as follows. Okay, so first I'm going to go to my FX button, find the OR function. There it is. And now for my first test. So current cubic capacity, where is that? Right here. Sorry. F3 is greater than or equal to D3 times 0.90. Enter. And I have false. Okay, and my next test is current weight capacity. So it wants me to look at G3. Is G3 greater than or equal to E3, which is our weight capacity, times 0.90. Enter. And I get a true. So my end result is true. I click OK. And I'm just going to copy this down all the way. And there you have it. Now a good way to just to check if it's actually working is, let's say we take this cell for example and we get a false. So we want to look at F4, which is the current cube weight, and what else? F4 is greater than or equal to E4. So obviously 1400 is way bigger than 4500, so that's okay. The next condition is G4, which is right here, 2800. Is it greater than or equal to E4, which is 4500 times 0.9? And I believe that is. Actually, no, it's not. It's way underneath. So that's why it'd be false. And the other one is false too, I guess. All right, moving on. Question number 4. Oh, okay. Question 4 just says copy and paste into the cells, and I've already done that. So we can go to question 5 now. Now question 5 is probably the hardest question in this whole thing, but it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. So what we're going to do is a nested if statement in cell L3 to determine if the truck should be held or shipped. The following logical test should be used in this function in the order listed. Okay, so this I'm going to do differently, and I'm not going to use the FX button. I'm going to write it all into my function bar. So I'm going to do equals, and then start with the if, open bracket. Now my first argument is the logical test, so I want to find the logical test. Now step A says if the output of the AND function in cell J3 is false, then the output of this if function should be the word hold. If the truck does not have fuel or requires maintenance, the transportation manager cannot allow it to leave the distribution center. Okay, so the first part, if the output of the AND function in cell J3 is false, then the output of this if function should be the word hold. Okay, so I'm going to go to J3, and I'm going to do equals, I'm going to type false. Notice I don't put any quotations around it. So if it's true or false, you don't have to put quotes. But if it's a word, like I'll show you in a second, then you have to put quotes. Okay, so if J3 equals false, then I want the truck to be held. So I'm going to type hold. Now, if it's not, if the truck does not have fuel or requires maintenance, then the transportation manager cannot allow it to leave the distribution center. Okay, so this makes me go to the next step, step B. So I have to do comma. Now my value if false, I'm going to put another if statement. So I can go if, open bracket. Now my next test says if the output of the OR function cell K3 is true, then the output of this function should be shipped. Okay, so I'm going to look at K3. So if K3 equals true, then I'm going to ship it. Otherwise, I have to do another if statement to look at the other step C. So I'm going to type if, open bracket. Now this one says, if the output of the OR function cell K3 is false, and the value in cell C3 is greater than or equal to 3, the function should display the word ship. Okay, so here I have to do an AND function within the if function. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to type the word AND, open bracket. So AND, so the first argument is K3 false? So I'm going to do K3 equals false. And then comma, and my next argument is and the value in cell C3 is greater than or equal to 3. So I'm going to go to C3 and do greater than or equal to 3. And I close my bracket because that's the end of the AND function. And that's my logical test, so I'm done with that. So I'm going to do comma and work on to the next thing. And if, okay, hold on, if K3 equals false and C3 is greater than or equal to 3, then I wanted to show the word ship. So I'm going to type ship. And my last comma, I'm just going to keep reading here. As mentioned, in order for the transportation manager to control shipping costs, the capacity of each truck must be maximized before shipping. However, a store needs to receive frequent deliveries to prevent merchandise from going out of stock. Therefore, even if a truck has not reached its capacity goal, it must be shipped. Now step D. If all logical tests in this function fail, you can assume that a truck has not reached its capacity goal and it has been less than 3 days since the store received a delivery. Therefore, the output should be hold. Okay, so basically what that whole sentence says, if my entire function keeps on going to false, then my last statement is going to be hold. And notice I don't have to put any more if functions. So that's the end of this enormous if statement. Now I have to close it. So I have to put a bracket. And notice what happens, it's going to close only this one. So I have to close the entire thing all the way up to here. So I have to put another bracket and one more for good luck. There, now I have one complete if statement for this entire statement. Click enter and I get the word ship. Now it just wants me to copy the function all the way down, no surprises, and there we go. So we have a whole bunch of different ships and holds and whatever. So next, step 7, it wants me to sort the spreadsheet based on the ship or hold column in ascending order, and then based on fuel and maintenance ready column in ascending order. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to select everything, but notice I don't select the first row, just all the titles and the information. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to go to my sort and filter button. It's on the home page. I click that. I'm going to do custom sort. So here we have to do 2 sorts. So the first sort is the ship or hold column, and we want to sort on the values, and it has to be ascending, so A to Z. So that's okay. Now I'm going to add another level. See how it says sort by and then by. So our then by is our next column, so it's fuel and maintenance. And we also want ascending, so small to largest, so that's okay. So we hit OK. And there we go. So you can see my ship or hold column was arranged nicely from ascending, and then the fuel and maintenance ready column was ascending, so that's okay. And the next step, step 8, how many trucks are being held? Okay, so to see that, it's pretty easy. You just count how many holds there is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll just say 9 trucks are being held. And step 9, how many trucks are being held only because of fuel and maintenance issues? Okay, so we look at all the holds and we look at fuel and maintenance ready. So you can see we have false, 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 false. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 trucks are being held because of fuel and maintenance problems. And number 11. How many trucks had to be shipped without reaching their capacity goals? Okay, so again here we just want to count the capacity achieved, and we just count the number of falses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I miscounted. 13 or 14. I'll just put 13. 13 trucks shipped without reaching their capacity goals. And obviously when you ship something without reaching its capacity, you're wasting space and therefore you're wasting money. Anyway, so that's the end of this exercise. We'll save it, and now we're all done.